All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great guest. He's coming off a huge win a couple weeks ago, but we'll get to him in just a minute. Right now, y'all know what time it is. It's time for that big 3-minute countdown that Case loves so much. So here we go. It's a what?
So Smoking Gooder Show.
It is the So Smoking Gooder Show. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
You can handle this? There we go. 3.
I'm First Class Barbecue Robert Smith, and you're watching the So Smoker Gooder Show.
You said it wrong, dummy. Do it again.
So Smoking Gooder Show.
One more time.
So Smoking Gooder Show.
Yes. Thank you to Robert Smith with First Class Barbecue from doing that new promo. Hope you guys like that.
Terrible.
We got a few more. What'd you say, Case?
I was in the middle of eating beef jerky. I didn't think I was coming on the show right away.
Well, you are on the show. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Welcome to the So Smoking Gooder Show. You guys know where to be. 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. It is time for the very best. It is the very best fake internet barbecue show on the planet. Not a podcast, because we got a podcaster in the green room right now. But for live shows, I like this one. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. How are you?
We should introduce ourselves. My name is Robert Roach, and I'm coming to you from the Bullhorn Barbecue headquarters in Cypress, Texas. Alongside of me is my show partner, Mr. Case Hahn.
What it do, Gooder Gang? Long time no see. I've been making some rounds in the world, and it's good to be back with y'all.
In the world, where have you been, buddy? Where have you been?
Man, we were at Disneyland, and I had great intentions. We flew back on a Tuesday, and I fully intended on joining that show with you. And then Wednesday, I mean, we were pretty much shot, and so sorry about that.
It's all right.
Then we had to cancel because the Stros were playing, but been busy. Went out to Columbus and taught some. So high school barbecue is a thing. I know I think we've talked about this on the show in the past, but come to find out, you can letter in high school barbecuing and bass fishing. And so I really feel like I left. There was an opportunity that just wasn't there in 2002. So,
well, I do want to ask you about that in a second, but yeah, we've got lots going on. Shout out to Timmy Esch from Tiny E Barbecue. He was our guest a couple weeks back. And then our guest tonight, Mr. Chris Schafer with Heavy Smoke BBQ. He GC the damn thing over in Lynchburg at the Jack Daniels Invitational 2022. We all know that's a big time world championship, and I had him lined up. I texted him Sunday night. I guess he was driving home. I said, hey, how many people have asked you to be on? He goes, well, if you're asking me, it's probably 6. I was like, well, I'm asking. And then, of course, we found out the schedule for the ALCS, and I had to call. I said, Chris, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but we're getting bumped for the Astros. So everybody watch the Astros and Yankees. We know they have swept, and they are playing Friday night against Philadelphia Phillies for the World Series at Minute Maid Park. Case, I'm digging that shirt, buddy. I am digging that shirt. I see why you did it, and the hat too. You got you mix them.
Yeah, this hat has been a struggle for me. People are confusing it with a certain football team.
Struggle to fit your head.
It does fit my head, but
okay.
Too many people have forgot the greatest uniform in the Astros history, which was the Astrodome, the end of the Astrodome era.
I don't know. That's the greatest. It's up there though. I do like that one. Let's give a shout out to people that are watching us. Daddy Dutch is always is first in. Tim Kirkendall, what is up, my man? Thank you for that LED light. It is getting some good use at for the Bullhorn cookout. Martin Ty Cobb is in the house. What is up? Brian Fox. Hello, Brian. Just the new RecTech team member, not team member, but a RecTech purchaser. He just got him a bullseye. Jared McCrory, Barefoot Cookers. Kevin Hernandez, Greg Minotti, Tom and Bell, probably watching from the Tomball VFW. Drink. Uwe Braun, Michael Sistruck, Tim Crawford, Chuck and Vanessa, Harold Williamson. We got Brent. What's up, Brent? I didn't get a chance to see Brent at the Royal, but this guy was at RecTech Academy. He's doing well on the circuit right now. He's now an official barbecue competitor. He was at the American Royal. Chris Webb, RGC at the Invitational at the American Royal. Chris, I need to get you on here, buddy. AJ Garza, I'll be saying your name later. Brandon Flores, Corby Simpkins, Shiza Manelli, checking us out on Twitch. Thank you guys. However you're finding us, either on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. Thank you, Jeff Dennison, Stephen Williams, Chris Webb. There he is again. Team Heavy Smoke. Chris, I asked Chris, does he got team members now? Derek Bernal, congratulations. Ram Benitez, first place. Pork at the American Royal. All these guys killing it. Tim Crawford, hello. Hector Senega. Who else we got? Sean Trainer. All right. Yes, Chris, I will be in contact with you. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate that. We can't do this show without you guys, so thank you for tuning in. Sorry we missed last week, but yeah, I love my Astros. Case and I both do, so that might come into play at the World Series next week. However, Cases, they won't be playing by this time next week. Oh, Case is predicting a sweep of the Phillies. I assume you're talking about. I think it will as well. Y'all put your predictions in the comments. Astros or Phillies, and Astros in however many games you think it's going to be.
What is your official take on record?
Astros in 6. I think it's going to go 6 games.
Yeah,
I think it's going
to
go
take Astros in 5.
You just said sweep.
I know, but just in case there's one person in Philadelphia watching, I don't want them to turn it off.
Well, I say Astros in 6. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We know that this is not a baseball show, although baseball and barbecue go hand in hand for certain. All right. We did do that. Let's get I did give a shout out to my boy Timmy Esch, and we did the all right, it's time to bring him on. Let's get him on here. 12 after. We're talking about Chris Schafer. He is the pitmaster behind Heavy Smoke BBQ. He's coming off a huge grand champion at the Jack Daniels Invitational World Championship. That is World Championship number 3, I believe. Is that true?
Yeah. What's up, boys?
How are you, buddy? Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. We talked about the sevens. You qualified. You didn't get in as a draw. You got in as a qualifier. 7 GCs, along with Anna and Scotty Bryce, Randall Kendrick, Phil Breeden, Brad Leininger also had 7 qualifiers.
I realized at the Jack we missed one.
Who?
Southern Dutch out of the Netherlands.
Oh, okay. Well, I can.
Because I seen them there and I was like, oh crap! Like they're the Netherlands. You don't track them, but I'm pretty sure they were there on 7 too. I think
you've got to do a better job of tracking Netherlands barbecue.
It might have been hard for them to dial in for your show, but
probably not watching. So forgive me, Netherlands, if you are watching. So that was it, right? The Netherlands.
Yep.
And we had Scotty and Anna, you, Brad, Phil, and Randall,
and Joe.
And Joe Pierce. Yes, absolutely. That's strong. And you obviously had a hell of a day out there. So tell me about the experience. That wasn't your first time, but what do you enjoy about that cook-off? Because for a lot of people have never been to the Jack. It's kind of, pie in the sky for a lot of teams out there.
Please tell me it was better than your first trip up there.
It was, yeah. Well, a lot of people, I've told this story a couple times, so it gets repetitive, but in 2019, when I went, I got there on 7 wins again. I was super sick when I went,
right?
And found out a month later that I had congestive heart failure, and I spent a week in the hospital and was fitted with one of those nice life vest defibrillators for 3 months. Like I was in really bad shape. So like honestly, 2019, I don't even remember the Jack. Like I don't remember a single thing about it. I remember telling people that it sucked, but it was because it rained so much. It was miserable. This one didn't suck.
No, weather was nice too, wasn't it? I didn't see
it was unbelievable. I mean, you get up in the morning, you might need a hoodie type thing, but like by the afternoon, it was shorts and t-shirts.
That's awesome. That is great. And there were how many teams were out there? 80 something? 88?
I think it was 83.
83, and all of these either qualified by 7, but they all already ran champions, and either they got a bung pulled. I love that word, bung. They pulled their bung and got in. But yeah, so the experience, did you do the parade and everything that they do out there?
I didn't do the parade. Most of the people, you'll do the parade up and then you'll go up on the hill for dinner. And me and my dad decided that we weren't going to do the hill this year. And so the parade happens right in the middle of when I'm injecting and getting everything ready. And so I skipped out on that. But we got there on Thursday, went to Mary Bobo's, which is, it's a staple. You got to go up there when you qualify and make it in. And I did the distillery tour. I was actually real fortunate. I was just kind of walking by, and Brad, so the winner of the Jack gets a private distillery tour the next year. And so I was walking by and Brad's like, "That's your ticket. You want to go?" And I was like, yeah. And so we went, and kind of a funny story. The guy leading the tour, he's such a good dude. He was so funny, but he's like, "Yeah," he goes, "We got last year's winner and probably this year's winner in this group." And he was talking about Brad, obviously, but he had no idea that he had last year's winner and this year's winner. So it was like a good omen right there.
What did you think of that facility? I've been on that tour, and for those who've never been to Jack Daniels, every bit of Jack that is sold and drank in the world is produced right there in Lynchburg, and the facility is remarkable.
It is wild. I think the craziest thing to me was, we go in like their smallest warehouse, and there's like 600 barrels in there, and it seems massive. It just seems insane. And they're like, "Oh, this is the smallest warehouse." They're like, we started building warehouses that house like 20,000 barrels. And they're like, in the last 5-10 years, whatever it was, now all of them house like 46,000 barrels. And I'm like, I'm in this warehouse that has 600 barrels and feels massive. And they have a warehouse that has 46,000 barrels in it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Did you taste any of the different Jacks that are available?
I didn't, so I don't drink at all.
Gotcha.
And so when we did the tasting, I sat there and just watched everybody else taste, and sitting next to Tim Shear and his brother-in-law Dickie, and Brad doesn't drink either, so we all just kept force feeding Dickie our shots and seeing how much he could take down.
I tried one there that was a barrel proof, and I swear I could have ran my truck on it. It was that it was like I forgot what proof it was. It was something insane. So
They had one there. I think he said it was like 136 proof or something.
Yeah.
And they had one that's I think it's like the Sinatra. It's like they made for Sinatra or something.
yeah,
And
extra smoky.
yeah, everyone said that one was the best one.
Yeah.
Chris, you got Wade Carpenter in the comments. He says we're excited to have last year's winner and this year's winner in Texas in December. The Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. I did see you signed up. That's awesome. That's a great event for sure. We talk about that one all the time, so I'm glad to see some of you guys come down for that. That's what got you. How'd you get kind of interested in that one?
One of the coolest things about winning the Jack, I think, is that I get to go cook Houston, and I always wanted to cook Houston. And I have tons of buddies like, you just need to go down and see it. And I was like, I want to see it, but I want to cook it. And as soon as I qualified to cook Houston, I'm like, I need to get to Texas. I need to cook a couple comps. I need to figure out how to cook a half chicken. And I heard that you're the guy to talk to on that. Not Case, you.
Doing all right, but we can talk. That's awesome. That's a great event. It's coming. Houston's coming quick. It's we're already in November, and y'all know how quickly these months are flying by. So yeah, well, February will be here really quick.
Kind of a cool story in itself. This is just like a story on how great barbecue is and how the people are in barbecue. I was on a podcast for the Barbecue Champs Academy. And I just kind of made an offhanded comment about going to Uvalde. And I was like, if I could find a rig and some drums. And Chris Davis, he sent me a message afterwards. He goes, I got a rig. I got 4 drums. He's like, you fly into my house. We'll drive out there. We'll cook that thing. I'll take care of you. And I was like, hell yeah. And so
that's awesome.
I'm going to fly down and cook it with Chris. It'll be fun.
You hear that, Rob? Talent flies in places.
Talent flies. I always say that because Case doesn't drive to the Royal. He always flies in. So, talent flies is a thing.
But he doesn't have to worry about getting jet lag because he knows he's not going to get calls anyways.
There you go.
Bingo.
Yes. So we'll get back to the Jack here, but what are you most excited about Houston? It is a crazy deal. It's a marathon cook-off. You got to get here super early. Wednesday, there's big time parties for the cooks that are out there. And then the public shows up on Thursday. And then of course the contest is
the public doesn't leave
Saturday.
Till Sunday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've just heard it's a monster. Blaine Hunter basically told me it's the Royal times 1,000, and then add in a couple $2 billion to it.
Yes,
and I was like, well, that sounds interesting.
He's not lying. You do the Royal.
You don't get to keep any of that money, by the way. The rodeo doesn't appreciate your donations.
That's true.
I have also heard that.
Yeah.
So, the Royal is the big, Friday is their big public night, right? And then after Friday, it's a competition when you boil it right down. This is public beyond, and then they just keep coming. Case, you know the numbers. What do they garner? Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It's something crazy. It's not even 300 to 400,000 nightly on the grounds.
I've heard that it's gotten very corporate over the last few years, but it's still like an amazing spectacle to see, is from what everyone's kind of told me.
Yeah, I mean it's very hard even to get in there, and anybody who's cooked Houston, even small teams, even when we do like the Colorado County, still got to raise a bunch of money to be out there to afford all of it. So it's pretty sweet that you'll be in that Champions Row. You'll be in a much calmer area.
Yeah,
your area will feel like a Royal or a traditional cook. Everything around you will look like a shit show circus. And so, the nice thing is your spot is nice and reserved right there in the middle, right by the stage. You can hear all the music. It's next to the international teams. And your area is caged in, and it'll feel like a traditional cook-off. It's just everything around you will be pretty wild. So
it'll be wild. You have the stage there. You have the kids queue. They set up, and they'll do it right in front of y'all where you guys will be. It's a great contest, and
I've heard they treat the champions like legitimate royalty too. I've heard that they.
I wouldn't know that, Chris. So you have to let us know.
Yeah. Listen, we stand on the other side of the fence.
Daniel Ramirez in the car. I knew my trailer would go on to bigger and better things. Yeah, your trailer. Did you take the big black trailer to the Jack? That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I don't know how much you follow KCBS, but I bought his trailer and I couldn't score. I had one RGC in it. I had some top 10s, but I hadn't won a comp since I bought his trailer. I don't know, like 10 cooks or something. And every comp I'd go to, people like, you sell this trailer? You hate this trailer? I'm like, I love this trailer. I just, for some reason, it's not, not coming together. And I remember the week before I was talking to Brad and he was like, it's not the trailer. He's like, stop saying it. It's not the trailer. And if you watch Phil Breeden post a video of like, the whole thing of, calling my name and walking to the stage, and I'm walking up there and you hear somebody go, Chris, and it was Brad. And I turn around and you hear him go, you like that trailer now?
Well, Daniel was killing it in that trailer when he had it.
I even you could ask him. I even text him and I was like, how are you doing in this trailer? And he like sent me his results and he was like top 10 every comp that he had it. And I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, it's just a pure coincidence, And like I after winning the Jack, I told everybody, I'm like, if I could like have the least lucky summer of my life and win the Jack every year, I would take it,
Yep. What has that trailer done for you? Because I remember your setup. You and your dad travel, all over the country doing it. So what has that afforded you now having that trailer there?
I think the biggest thing is that we don't deal with the weather anymore.
Yep.
We're on the porch. You got the gull wings, and so we're at a comp where it was blowing real. It's real windy. You could shut one side down, and that helps. And then, my old trailer had 3 steps into it, and so you run up and down the steps 100 times in a comp, you're pretty worn out. And now we just move from porch to kitchen and back and forth. And I think it's made our cook so much more fluid. And for the most part, me and Dad were running it out a bunch at the comps, and now it's like all through turn-ins, he's on the porch, I'm in the kitchen, and we just kind of hand things back and forth if need be. I think it's made it a lot better.
Yeah, y'all got like a little, y'all have y'all's routine down. Y'all got a little dance, in and out. That's pretty cool.
I had to take the outdoor TV out of his trailer though, because first
Dad
time
was watching it.
Well, no, the first time I cooked in it, there was like no counter space, and I told Dad, I said, I'm selling this trailer, or we are ripping this box out. And I literally just took it straight from comp to my dad's house, and by the next weekend, so like on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he'd rip the whole thing out, replace the whole counter, and so I got a ton more counter space than Daniel had.
There you go. And no more TV on the outside.
That's because Daniel didn't have to sit there with his kale and prepare all the greenery.
That's right. He didn't need all that counter space there.
Well, I told my buddies, I'm like, I have no idea what I would use that TV for. I've never been at a comp and wished I had a TV. And then one of my buddies goes, you should get a Nintendo 64 and GoldenEye. And I was like, oh, now I missed the TV.
Yes. Likely. He's obviously never had to tell. He's obviously never had to go to a competition while the Rockets or the Astros were on. So,
well, let's wrap up this Jack thing. So, tell me when you're there, is it once you're down into it and the competition start, is it just another normal competition? How did you treat it?
Yeah, turn-ins were all 30 minutes later, and I was on the distillery tour and didn't go to the cooks meeting. And so I get back and I'm just like kind of going through our game plan. And Dad goes, all the turns are 30 minutes later. And I was like, no, they're not. And he's like, no, they are, because he went to the cooks meeting. So I called Brad. I'm like, are turns 30 minutes later? And he said, yep. And I'm like, well, Brad would lie to me. Let me call somebody else. And so, yeah, I found that out. And then all I did, I honestly just reset all my clocks 30 minutes and just ran my same timeline I do, every other comp. But once you get into it, Thursday and even Friday, it was a whole lot of spending time with friends and things like that. But once it hits Friday afternoon, it's kind of business as usual.
As your day went on Saturday, did you feel like you were putting together a cook that could win the Jack?
Yeah, so I've been practicing wings a lot. And I swear to you, every practice, I'm like, this ain't it, and this ain't it, And I mean, I don't even know how many times I practiced, but they weren't right, And so I changed some things up, on that day, and I put that box together. My dad walked it. I walked in the kitchen and I tried one of those wings, and I was like, oh, that's what they're supposed to be like. Like, I swear to you, the first time I nailed them was at the Jack, and then
yeah, I'm just going to clarify this. So you weren't 100% sure on your recipe or technique, and you said, you know what? Let's go with it.
Well, yes, pretty much. No, I honestly, it's like, I'm sure Rob practices more than Case, not to say that, but I'm sure he does. Like, as you're practicing, you usually know what you're going to fix in the next practice, right? And so I had a pretty good game plan going in on how to fix what wasn't right. And then, I got tips from some buddies, my buddy Billy Hine with Triple H, he'd been practicing ribs a lot, and he kind of, or not ribs, wings. And he was like, well, maybe, I was doing this and I was doing this type of thing. And Brad kind of, gives some tips, and it kind of all fell into the right place on the right day.
I had some of Sterling's wings before, and if you do them right, man, he's got it down.
Dude, that picture of that wing box from the Royal he posted is like the prettiest box I've ever seen.
It is. Fred Robles in the comment. He's like, "Oh my God, it's that heavy guy."
Can you clarify, Fred, who you're talking about?
Yeah, there's three of us on here, Fred. Who are you talking about?
Thanks, Fred.
Fred's been making, ever since I signed up for that comp in Texas, he's been making jokes how he's going to fanboy out of me, but I don't think Fred knows that like I'm his biggest fan. So we're gonna have a heck of a time.
Can you spend the whole time talking about going to Texas and winning and beating everybody in brisket like some other people I've seen on television?
I won't do that.
Okay.
He knew what he was doing.
I'm legit worried that like how I cook a brisket isn't how they're going to want it. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to get down there before Houston. I know I can cook a mean brisket, and I know I score all over the place, but I'm worried that the Texas guys won't like it as much. Go ahead.
How'd your brisket do in Humble that one year?
I think I was like 11th or 12th. When I cooked World Foods last year, the first day was a CBA, and I think I got 6th or 7th in brisket, but everyone was telling me I need to take it longer than I did, and I cooked it exactly how I always do and turned it in. And so I didn't know if I needed to go further or not, but I took 6th or 7th. I mean, there's only like –
What is your concern on your brisket right now?
I think people want it softer in Texas from what they're saying. They say people off the street want it softer, easier to cut with a fork kind of thing.
Yep. Plastic fork.
Yes. I've heard they're such terrible plastic. They're like rubber forks. They're terrible. And so I think I need to push a little further, and that scares me because I think I'm on the edge already sometimes. So I just that's why I'm going to Texas in December. Just want to get down there and have a test run and see how it goes and see if I need to adjust. And if I need to get back out of Texas in January, I'm going to.
Yeah, heck yeah. And so you've done the half chicken, obviously, at the World Foods. Are you worried about that at all?
I'm very worried about half chicken. What's funny is at World Foods, I had never cooked a competition style half chicken. And so I'm not joking. I took like 10 birds with me, and we got down there 2 days early, and I was cooking I was doing like 2 test cooks a day, trying to get birds done. And I didn't brine any of them just based on sheer time. Yeah. And so I got to where I had a good timeline together, and they were working real well. Then I brined the bird that I was turning in, and it cooked. I went to just check it, where it was halfway, and it was like 10 degrees hotter than I wanted it. And I was like, oh. And so it went in the Cambro for like a solid hour before I turned it in. And Bill Purvis came over, and he tried it, and he was just kind of like, yeah. And I was like, I know, Bill. I know. Stop. And I got second to last with that bird. So,
ooh, well. Yeah.
Bill is not going to say anything bad, but you also know when he says that, he just doesn't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he was just trying to be nice. Kind of like when he turned in wings in the finals. And I'm like, yeah, it's a good decision, Bill.
And just wings.
Just wings.
It was like 10 wings. I was like, Bill, we had to talk about that. Yeah, that was
what's funny is I made a super chefy dish and got like I worked my tail off to get that thing done, and I got 8th. I barely beat him in the finals. That dude cooked wings. I think he was the winner after all.
Yeah,
he spent probably $4.59 on a bag of 10 wings and turned it in.
I made a because the ingredient they gave in there was this like mojo seasoning, and so I made a crispy mojo pork belly with a mofonga and a sofrito sauce, and got 8th place. And this dude made wings. I'm like, I should just made wings.
That sounds pretty chefy. I don't know exactly what you just said. But,
I have no clue what the hell he just said. Something about mojito sauce or some shit. I have no idea.
I think I got too chefy. I think those judges were like, "What the shit is this?"
All right. I don't have your calls up. Tell me what you got. Your calls: chicken and then ribs, pork.
We got 10th in chicken, 3rd in ribs, 19th in pork, and 8th in brisket.
3rd in ribs. You're feeling pretty good.
Well, so it's a major, so you never know. I just watched my buddy Joe 2 weeks earlier have 3 calls at the Royal and finish 3rd. So you're scared, right? And so it's actually a funny story. I got the 10th in chicken and the 3rd in ribs, and Brad texted me and said, "Are you nervous?" And I said, "Not really," because it's a major. You never really know.
Yeah, there's still lots of time to go. Lots to go.
Yeah, I get that 8th in brisket, and I get a text. I looked down, it was Brad, and he said, "How about now?"
So you didn't get a call in pork, though. You didn't get a walk.
I didn't get a call on pork, but hands down, pork was my best turn-in of the day, and it's been my best category for 2 years. And so that's what my buddy Brian Payton made me in St. Louis. He's like, everyone's sitting around like, "Oh, I wonder who it is," and he's like, "It's got to be Chris because his no call is pork, and it's his best category." But in those big comps, you never know. I could have been last in pork and finished 11th overall.
All that stuff goes through your head when you're sitting there hoping, and people are starting to stare at you and all of that. So
did you have a feeling? Was there anybody else that had got up multiple times that you were nervous about in the room?
Yep. Yeah. So I was the only 3-call team, but Smoke Me Silly had 2, and they're not the kind of team that's going to bomb a category generally. They will if they get a bad table, but they're not going to turn in bad food. And so Smoke Me Silly, Janky Leg, and 4 Legs Up had 2 calls, and that's who I was really worried about. And they called them 7th, 6th, and 4th. And so I had forgot about Good Googly Goo, and Sid had 2 really good calls. And so when they called him reserve, I was like, oh, crap, Sid did have 2 calls. But at that point, I'm like, I have no idea who else it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been Blues Hog. Tim had 2 really good calls. I think he ended up 11th overall. And so, I mean, he's the kind of guy that could have got 2 calls and 2 11s type thing. But
did anybody congratulate you before, like when you're sitting there in 3rd, you're calling 3rd?
Yes.
Anybody come up? How you feel about that?
I hate it.
I hate it too. It's like, leave me alone.
So Kelly Wirtz, his wife Ronnie, which have you guys know Kelly that well?
I know Kelly.
So Ronnie's like the sweetest lady on earth. She matches Kelly's energy. She's about the sweetest lady ever. She literally got out of her chair and came and sat next to me. It was like rubbing my shoulder. She's like, it's okay. You got it. You okay? And I'm like, Ronnie, I'm not trying to talk to anyone right now.
Yeah.
And so she went back to her seat, and you hear it a lot. You have a lot of people just saying, hey, you got this, hey, it's yours. And that it's like, you don't want to hear it at all. You don't want to get jinxed.
Exactly. And you never know. You could have been last pork for what it could have been DQ'd for whatever reason. Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
it's funny. They called reserve, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and I look over, and it's my daughter, and I'm like, hey, what's up, babe? And she goes, can we leave? And I said, what? She's like, I'm hungry and I'm tired, because the awards are 2.5 hours long,
Oh, okay.
She goes, I'm hungry and I'm tired. And I was like, well, babe, they're about to announce the winner. And I didn't want to jinx myself and be like, and it's probably us. But yeah, she literally asked to leave. I'm like, well, can I get like 5 minutes? Just wait like 5 minutes, maybe.
We're almost done. Done. What a cool story. And then they call you. What's that feeling like? You're the Jack Daniels, man. That's
there's really no way to explain it. I'd won 2 world championships before that, and the one in 2019 was huge because it was like I was so new to KCBS that it was a shock, and the one last year they kind of fumbled the names, and it was kind of anticlimactic, but they're still huge, and so it's a big deal. But there is absolutely no feeling like winning the Jack. I've kind of explained a couple times. Like I told you before the show, I hate to be repetitive, but like have you guys been to the Jack? Case, you've been to the Jack, right?
I've visited Jack. I've never been to the competition.
This is the only competition where I see this happen, and it seems to happen almost every year. When you know who won, or you've got a good idea who won, everybody starts gravitating towards them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm sitting there just looking forward, trying to not pay attention to any of that, you literally have this feeling like the room is closing in on you because everyone's coming over. And like my buddy Jordan with Janky Leg, he was literally sitting all the way on the other side of the crowd. And I looked over and he's standing behind me, and I'm like, oh, there's Jordan. And then, Joe's standing there, and Fred's standing there, and Bill Purvis and Phil Breeden are standing there, and Phil's recording the whole thing. And, you hear Bill be like, he said something like, get number 3, Schafe, something like that. And, it's like, you're just sitting here listening to it. And then they say the name, and it's like you go crazy. And it's like, I think it took us like 4 minutes to get to the stage, just getting mobbed. And I sent the video to a buddy of mine, and he goes, I swear to God, you hugged more people in 3 minutes than I've hugged in my life.
That's such a cool feeling with all those, great competitors and world-class competitors and going up there and giving you congratulations. That's got to be a cool feeling, man.
It was insane. And like Darren Worth, who, he's the GOAT,
GOAT.
And I've held him in such high regard, literally my whole career. And my first competition ever he was at, and I didn't even know who he was, kind of thing. And then within a couple of years, you're like, oh crap, I cooked against that guy thing. But he came and gave me a huge hug, and he told me he was proud of me. And he said, welcome to the club. And then he's like, there's nothing. He goes, there's no better feeling than winning the Jack. And after it, like that's like the understatement of a century, really. I mean, I don't even know. Like it's like it was just insane. And like see some of those videos, just me walking up there, and it was like all these people that are there to win the Jack, and they're there to beat you, but they are legitimately stoked for you. And it's, I don't know, no feeling like it.
Even Brad.
Dude, Brad came up, gave me a huge hug, and he was super stoked. I got that brisket call, and I was walking back, and they came up, and him and Sterling Ball and Tim and Kelly Wirtz, all those guys are kind of in the back, and they were all talking to me and kind of wishing me the good luck after having the 3 calls. But Brad's become one of my best friends in barbecue, and honestly one of my best friends in life too. And I owe a lot of my success to Brad. And so I think he was pretty stoked to see me win. Obviously he always wants to win, but I think he was real happy for me.
Here's
Walk me through, remind me KCBS when they make when they make the calls, what categories go first?
Chicken, ribs, pork, brisket.
So you get a chicken call, you get a rib call. How are you feeling when you make it through, knowing that pork's your best category and you don't get a call? Obviously you're still on cloud 9, you got 2 calls. But do you start to, when you have those first 2 calls, first 2 categories, does the back of your mind start thinking, man, here it comes? And then you get through a category with no call, and then you go to the highs of the brisket call. And then do you start counting down who got called after you in brisket? Or, I mean, where's your mindset? No, man, pork's my cat. You have 2 calls, and man, pork's my category. Where's the mindset, though, when you don't get out of your chair for pork?
Well, I think anybody that cooks a lot, if you're not going to get a call, you hope it's in your best category because you're hoping it's 11th or 12th. You know what I mean? And so if I didn't get a brisket call, but I got a pork call, I'd have been way more worried because my brisket was good, but it wasn't as good as my pork. And so I'd have been much more worried if it was brisket. And then we got 8th. And so there's at least 4 teams that I'm worried about that already have 2 calls. And so I got to listen 7 through 1 and just hope that you don't hear one of their names. And like, it's kind of terrible that you've got really great friends and you're just like, please don't be Kelly. Please don't be Kelly Wirtz. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love Kelly to death. We talk all the time. He's a great friend of mine. And I'm just praying that he doesn't get a brisket call.
And all the while that you're trying to listen to those next 7, the crowd is gathering, right?
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And they got to like 4th place brisket, and they are like, oh, we haven't heard this name yet. And they said Local Yokels, which is really, Brad Cox, really good friend of mine. And then 3rd place was Southern Dutch, and that was their first call. And then I forgot who got 2nd in brisket, but I believe it was their first call. And so they get to 1st place brisket. And I know damn well if it's Kelly, if it's Janky, if it's Smoke Me Silly, if it's Sid, I know damn well if they win brisket, it's over. And then they say it's a 180. And so it's like, well, obviously.
Yeah,
well, then they say slaps. And I've never been so happy in my life for A, I'm very happy for Joe. And B, it wasn't one of those other teams, And so at that point, you're the only 3-call team. And, you got to feel good about your chances, but you always know anything can happen.
Absolutely. How fast are they calculating? Remind me at the Jack, how fast did they have the top 10 calculated after that? I mean, were they ready to go?
They already got it.
Yep.
So at least you don't have to wait.
Yeah, but if you haven't watched Phil's YouTube video of me winning that thing, go watch that because the guy that MCs it, he's been doing it for every year of the Jack. Like he makes it a point to take his sweet time, and you're just sitting there and like Phil yelled over and goes, "Hey, wipe that sweat off your brow." And I turned to him and I said, "Bro, I ain't even breathing."
So Ed Falder asked a question. He's like, "So how do you top winning the Jack?" Congratulations.
I don't know if you do. I think, when you compete a lot, you've got like all these bucket list things that you want to achieve. The Jack is the pinnacle for me. It's always been number 1, right? And so I don't know if you ever top the Jack, but I think it's one of those things that I'd love to win Houston.
Yeah.
I'd love to win the Royal. I'd love to win Team of the Year, but I don't know if any of that really ever tops the Jack.
Probably didn't top, but you want to build your resume, right? So when your body of work, when it's all said and done, you have that feather in your cap, and then you also have the others. Speaking of which, you're right now, I'm looking at the 2022 Team of the Year for KCBS. You're sitting, what, 7th right now?
Yeah, I think I'm 7th.
Yeah, you are 7th, but you're only like 140 points away from the top billing. How does that? What do you need? Like you need a GC to. How's that working right now for you?
I think I would need like 2 GCs to get to like 2nd, but this will probably surprise you. I'm not even cooking this weekend.
Oh, okay. Well,
the restaurant's been so crazy since winning the Jack. I really underestimated the aftermath and the media from the Jack, and the PR team for the Jack is unbelievable. They'd already got to all the St. Louis media outlets like Sunday. And so Monday morning we were on the news. And so I get to the restaurant. I tell my partner, I'm like, hey man, this might be a rough day. He's like, why is that? And I'm like, we've already been on three news shows this morning. And I was like, and then the big morning radio show had just covered it like before we opened, and we just got hammered. And last week was the craziest week the restaurant's ever seen. Cooking more food we never cooked and still selling out like at 5 o'clock and stuff. And I cooked in Arkansas last week, and the restaurant just got hammered beyond belief. And my staff handled it great, but I know damn well that if I was there, it would have been easier. And so I'm going to take this weekend off and spend in the restaurant.
Hey, that's great, man, to get that public. I did see the news articles. Y'all were posting them, and they were all over after you won that. So that's great that you're seeing that on the backside of your business. That's great. I mean, that's what it's about, right? Go out there and do well, and you are in the barbecue business. Obviously, you're doing well now. Is it settled down, or is it still rising, or y'all at a high water mark that you're going to maintain a little bit? What's going on with that?
The restaurant's it's kind of the same this week as it was last week. Brad kind of said I could expect 2 to 3 weeks of craziness, and then it'll probably come back down. And odds are I'll be busier than I was before, but not like I am right now, kind of thing. So we're just trying to make it. I see Chris on here a lot. He said Team Heavy Smoke. I do sponsor a handful of teams, and Chris is one of my teams. He's one of the best dudes in barbecue. Talk
about your rubs real quick before we get you out of here.
Yeah, man, I got 2 rubs. The white label is kind of my all-purpose rub, sweet with some back end heat on it. It took 2nd place in the spicy category at the Royal this year. Nice. And then the black label is kind of the brisket rub. But a buddy of mine, I won't name names, said he used my black label on a half chicken this weekend. He took 2nd down in Texas. So I think that might be my program.
Case, you'll appreciate this. Jason Druin's in the house. You might have won the Jack, but have you ever won the Bulls on McNee Chili Bowl?
I have. Jason has. Rob, have you ever won the Chili Bowl?
I have won the Chili Bowl. No, I don't. No. I don't think I haven't won.
Your team has.
My team has.
So, yeah, Case that's what you really should be coming down in December to do. You should be coming to the Chili Bowl.
When is it?
I'll send you the date. Free entry.
Can I fly in?
Always.
Always.
I let you borrow a crock pot.
Did you play football back in the day, Chris?
I did, yeah.
You did? Were you ever a kicker?
No.
Wow.
No.
Why is that?
Because I want you to critique this video. Okay, you ready for it?
I'm a huge football fan, so I'm in.
All right. You're a huge football fan.
I should have never said this shit to Rob.
Let's critique this video right quick.
All right, I'm here with Case Hahn from Bulls on McNee, who won today HEB Tailgater of the Game. Case has a chance to win a $500 HEB gift card for his tailgating team if he can make a field goal. Are you ready? Yeah. All right, H-Town, show him some love. Let's kick. There you go. Fix that ball. Here we go. You got this, brother. Come on, Case. Count it off. There you go. Give it up. Come on. Get him going. Case is up. And, wide right. Hey, that's okay. You're not going to leave empty-handed. You get a $100 gift card for your tailgating team. Thanks for participating. David Brady, back to you.
Wow, Case. I don't even know if you had the distance, Case.
I had the distance.
I don't know. I
had the distance. I had the height. There's other views in the stadium.
How do you miss wide when you're 3 yards from it?
It was 45 yards out.
It was
Now that I look back at it.
a 15-yard field goal.
I would have to try.
from the 5.
I'd have to try harder to miss wide than make it.
I got no practice. I didn't get
Okay.
to stretch.
You did pull the shorts up. You should have just went with the shorties already, and you'd have been fine. But you did
The
go
problem-
with the shorts up.
The problem is
then-
you took your drop straight back.
Yes.
I've had more critiques of this kick.
Why didn't you
I
go
played
2 steps to the
offensive
left?
guard.
Doesn't matter. Everybody's kicked a 15-yard field goal. Even Eli,
hey.
my son, has kicked a 15-yard field goal.
I was an offensive tackle, and I could have got it through there.
You
See,
went
you say
straight up
that.
like them old, remember those things where you would pop the head and the kicker would kick the field goal? That's what Case did right there. Pop straight up. You didn't go soccer style, bro.
The hard thing about this is everybody's like, well, you did it in front of 70,000 fans. I was like, well, the Texans probably maybe had 50,000 in there. But come to find out, it was on NFL Sunday Ticket. And so anybody who was watching Sunday Ticket in the country, the Sunday Ticket had the live feed from the stadium. So I got calls from Chicago. As I left the field, I could literally feel my phone vibrating in my pocket. Bing, you got tagged in the video. Bing, you got tagged in the video. And I'm
that's
on
a
an
funny.
elevator in the stadium, and this guy's drinking a beer, and he looks across the elevator, and he goes, "You're that dude that missed the field goal."
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Yeah, it's me. And I get out, and I'm just walking the concourse, and there's just random people are like, "Nice kick, dude." I'm like,
What were
how
you
many
gonna say,
people
Chris?
actually watch this miss?
I was gonna say that's one of those things about the Jack too, is that I don't think at the second or third or whatever, my phone started blowing up, and
Yeah.
it's in my pocket. I'm trying to pay attention. It's just ding, 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 just going crazy. By the time I got off the stage, I think I had like 75 text messages and like over 100 Facebook messages.
All right, we got some
Yeah.
comments on your kick case. Shank the kick, then go straight into the dog position. You did hit the ground.
Greg, I was going to invite you over to be in my studio audience at my house, and you're not allowed to come down 517 right now.
Wide right. Case ain't no kicker.
Thank you.
3 yards. Yeah. Soccer style. Come on, man. Come on. He's a fumbler. And we got laces out, and the ball was deflated. I don't know.
The ball was deflated. Wasn't my normal kicking tee. It was a lot of fun, though.
Did you know you were doing this? Did you like have time to practice?
So, we were lucky enough to be tailgater of the game of the Texans, and I had been to enough games that we knew if you won tailgater of the game, that you were going to get a chance to kick. So we still had to be picked to be judged and win that, which we did. Hats off to all my guys who tailgate with me. We did a hell of a job. And they said, we need 2 people, one person to do an interview with Sports Radio 610 and a second person to do the kick. And I said, no, bullshit. I pay for everything. I'm doing both. And so I go on the radio. I get done with the radio. A guy from the Texans is like, yeah, we'll call you. You are going to the game, right? I was like, yes, I'm going in there. And so, I barely sit in my seat. And part of this, there's more to this. My father moved his season tickets about 4 rows behind me. And I actually went up, and I was sitting by my dad, and my uncle was there. And I'm just talking shit because my oldest brother played football at the Air Force Academy. And, man, I'm just running my mouth going, yeah, Chad was your favorite, but I'm getting the NFL's calling me today. I'm going on the field today. And, I've got my jersey has my last name on it. I was like, yeah, I'm going on the field. And so I get that phone call, and I meet the guy, and you go down, and you get security clearance, and you're walking through the Texans tunnel. And then, man, all of a sudden I'm on the sidelines in the stadium, and I'm just looking up, and I'm like, we'd been in the stadium 100 times, but I spent like a quarter and a half just standing on the sidelines, and the Texans actually missed a field goal in the game, and you hear people just booing and boo, you suck. And I'm like, oh shit. And the guy comes to me and he goes, hey, the second TV timeout in the second quarter, we're going to do this kick. So during the first TV timeout, we're going to move behind the field goal post, so we're ready to go. So first TV timeout comes up, and we start heading that direction. And all of a sudden, I see people running onto the field with these HEB banners. In the back of my mind, I'm going, well, hey, HEB sponsors the tailgate. And the guy's like, we're going now. And so I jog on the field, and I get there, and I turn around and I look up, and there's just people just staring at me in every direction. And I was like, I'm going to totally shank the shit out of this kid.
No, you manifested it.
Yeah. And I was like, this is not going to end well. And when I kicked it, when I hit my knees, I literally felt 60,000 people all go, oh. And that was a kind of a warm and fuzzy.
I mean, to be fair, you weren't you concussed though when you kicked that ball?
No, I was at
sure?
my peak physical condition. I'm so glad to be back on the show this week. So
is that you?
That's him.
Yes, that's my last adventure with ice.
Watch close.
That's
I totally miss you guys.
Everybody's play the clip, man. Play the clip. Case, play the clip. Everybody, yes, and yes. Bill loves it. Yes, we all love that. We all love it. We all love it.
I do want to point out that a certain friend of ours also has a tailgate, and he chose not to do the kick. I went out there and embarrassed myself. I'm a little disappointed the week before that Fong did not go out. Fong chose not to do the kick in front of everybody. He sent somebody else. So at least I have that going for me. At least I was brave enough to just embarrass the shit out of myself.
I tell you this, though, we talk a lot of trash, but if you lined up as many pit masters as we could get to kick that field goal, I bet you we're like a 10% make rate, you know?
Maybe.
I might make it. I might make it, but I'm definitely tearing something in my knee. Like, it's happening.
Pulling a hammy as you kick, that would have been better. That would have been better. Chris, anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here, Bo?
Yeah, Cordy Meats out of Highland, Illinois. They're my meat sponsor. They take good care of me. And then, Big Papa Smokers does a lot for me. It's really the two big ones.
Nice. Now, we did do the power rankings, and I promised you I was going to show you. We did do the power rankings, and you weren't on the first rankings. But
I was wondering what the power rankings are.
So the power rankings are basically teams that are doing well, that are still, currently doing well. You know how and I made the example of the Yankees, how they started out hot and then they fumbled towards the last half of the season. So their power rankings would have put them in number one spot at the beginning of the year, and then probably off the top 10 or however they finished. But it's basically, and now they just got swept by the Astros. So basically, it's how well you're doing, and it's going to change from, we're going to do it once a month because it does rile up some people. So we're going to do it once a month to do this. But we introduced it 2 weeks ago, and so this is what it was. Let's go back to, it was, and I have, when you're talking Texas and the rest of the country for 20 spots, it's tough. So you're not going to know some of these teams, but we know Texas, like On Point Barbecue, Lotus Smoke, Kickin' Cajun, Barton Barbecue, who's done well at the Royal as well, Amp Cookers, Flying G, Pit Father. These are mostly Texas teams here. Chicken Fried, Team Chupacabra, and then Getting Basted is in the 11th spot. Where's the other? First Class, Triple H, Scooters, Tiny E, Uncle Pigs, because they're sitting in number 1 right now. And then these were, I should have put you on there. These were the 7. And then QU. And then QU.
The most popular fake barbecue show basically has some underdog no-name team winning the Jack Daniels.
Yes. That's what happened. So, and that's what happened. He just won the Jack. So obviously he shoots up the power rankings and gets on board. QU, what do you know about those guys, man?
That's my buddy Grant out of Wisconsin. Real good dude. Have you had him on, or you guys talked to him at all?
No, but I do have a thing out for him.
Grant is one of the hardest guys to get a hold of. He doesn't have any social media. He doesn't do that. He doesn't really do that stuff, but he's just, man, he's such a great guy. I mean, to win both days of the Royal, it's like, holy shit. Like, it's never been done, and I think it will never be done again.
I agree. I don't know how you do that back to back, but he did it. It's crazy. Crazy.
He's such a good dude too. We were talking this week because he gets to go to Houston, and he's looking at building a trailer. He was wanting something kind of like mine, and I was like, "Oh, you win both days of the Royal, you spend some money on a trailer, you know."
He's got it now. Shit, that's that. Hey, I will reach out to you because my guy Joey is supposed to be getting with Grant. He told Joey that he would do it, but I don't know how to get a hold of the guy. So
I'll just send you Grant's number.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, Chris, thank you for coming back on the show. Appreciate that. Congratulations on your season right now. You're having a hell of a year in the KCBS realm. And then obviously GC and the Jack Daniels. What an amazing moment for you. And I will go watch that video because that seems really cool to check out and just to kind of experience it through you, what you were experiencing that day. So congratulations. It's awesome.
I kind of owe a big thank you to Phil for recording that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because,
that's cool
you know, he recorded the first couple minutes before they announce it, and then he literally followed me to the stage. And so, I mean, I've got to relive that whole experience multiple times. And if that video has 800 views, I'm 700 of them.
That's pretty awesome, though, man. I'd be doing the exact same thing. You're getting a lot of congratulations, man. So congratulations, continued success. Great. That's glad to hear it on the restaurant side of things as well. And we'll be in touch, man. I'll be hopefully see you soon at a contest. Well, Uvalde, you'll be in Uvalde at December 9th and 10th at the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. So we'll see you out there in Uvalde. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, man. There he was, Chris Schafer, the Jack Daniels Grand Champion Invitational. That's pretty cool. Chris has been on the show a couple times now. We love having him on. The banter with us is great. Love having him on the show. What do you think about that moment as he was describing it, Case?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And it's funny. You know, a lot of times I get to be that guy, right? Not him, the guy that's like, hey, what do you think? You won? Congratulations. Hey, I'm that guy, that early guy. And so it's pretty cool that he's able to sweat through that and to get that big call on you know, especially everybody's got their goals, you know, but it sounds like for him, the Jack, it was his, you know, everyone's got a bucket list, but it sounds like the top of his personal list is the Jack. And so, man, awesome. Congratulations to just a great guy in barbecue too. So
he is. He's a cool dude. Love hanging out with him. Love seeing him when I get a chance to. Not very often, obviously. We cook in different organizations, but when we do go up there, he's one that I always like to seek out and visit. All right, let's get to a sponsor spot, and then we will do the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads upcoming event segment, and we still have the bull printing wraps and graphics wrap up recap, and I think there's going to be some names that are watching that get to hear their name this week.
I have a story for you real quick.
Let's hear it.
So, you know, he's talking about how busy the restaurant was.
Yeah.
This past Friday, you shared it on the page, but I was out at Columbus High School and Tootsie was there from Snow's Barbecue.
Yep.
And she's amazing, by the way. She's
talk about Tootsie. I've never met her.
Yeah. So she was there. What was kind of wild is we were talking competition half chickens. Tootsie walks in the room while I have these 16 kids, and we've pulled the skin back and we're seasoning underneath the skin. And Tootsie is standing in the corner like, what in the shit
are you doing to that chicken?
And yeah, it was amazing. And she literally stuck around and she told me, she's like, I'm waiting to see what the hell this rub looks like underneath the skin of this chicken. And I was like, this is like high pressure shit for me. I've got Tootsie standing in the corner. And so she spent the whole day with us. And what was really cool, though, is there was kind of she told her life story, which is just remarkable. And we started talking about the restaurant, and I had questions. I'm being told just geeked out barbecue fanboy. And so they cook 1,200 pounds of meat every Saturday at Snow's.
Wow.
She has taken time off because the hot summer. She no longer gets there at 2 a.m. She actually comes in at 4 a.m. and works till the day's over.
Gotta take her time.
What's wild about the conversation with her is, they've been number 1 twice on Texas Monthly. I think they're currently number 3. But I guess they were on Chef's Table, which I think I saw that on Netflix.
Yes.
She said once the Netflix special came out that their lines. So I asked, I said, when do I need to when does the people start getting in line? And we were there on a Friday, and she said about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh my gosh.
So the line at Snow's, if you're wondering, starts on the Friday evening to go through the next morning. And she said, if you want to make sure you get everything, you need to be there at least by 7 o'clock in the morning, so that when you get to the end of the line at 11, you can probably still have a little bit of everything. So wow. I don't know that I have that kind of patience, but it's pretty wild, and it was just a fun afternoon. I also had Becky there. She's the current Dutch Oven world champion from Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. So the kids in Columbus had 2 just, really accomplished cooks and myself there. So,
what did she try your chicken when it was all done?
Yes, she actually enjoyed it. She coaches the Giddings team, which anybody knows, Giddings and Columbus are similar sized schools and rivals, and so no pressure, but I really need the Columbus kids to go out there and dominate Giddings, just so I can,
And when does this competition take place? I think that was really cool of you to go out there and do that, and that's pretty awesome. And
yeah, I tell you what's wild about the high school, and I talked to the head promoter. There's 2. Come to find out, everything in the world, there's 2 sanctioning bodies that don't get along, and so in high school barbecue, there's 2 sanctioning bodies. The one that Columbus is competing in, check out this timeline. They get there at 9 to set up. They light fires at 10 o'clock. They have to turn in a Dutch oven at 1, I think a pork steak at 2, beef fajitas at 3, chicken at 4, and ribs at 5, and judging at 6 o'clock. So their day starts at 9, ends at 6, and high school kids got to knock out all those categories with a team of 5. So it's it's actually pretty awesome. I would have loved to have been a part of something like that. One of the barbecue team members was actually an employee of the Dairy Cone, and so I thought that was pretty cool. I offered her a pay raise, and so, and I told her she could take off any competition she wants. Just tell my dad. So
awesome, dude. That's a cool story. Yeah. So when I need to pull this banner. When is that going to happen? You said it.
So they're starting to sign up comps. It's just like ours, and so
okay, they're going to do multiple.
State. Different schools will put it on. The meats are all provided as part of the entry fee, so everybody cooks the same thing. And, I'm looking forward to it. Probably will go out and help them with kind of ribs and things like that. But really great kids. But it was really awesome to have Becky, who's been on the show. And Becky, of course, walks in with her trophy just to make fun of me also. And then I have Tootsie on the other side. And here I am with my RecTech pellet smoker just rocking along. So,
hey. Speaking of RecTech, here we go. James, real quick, Case, I need to talk to you about high school comps. He would like to get that started in his area. I think he lives in your area, by the way.
Yes.
James Minotti.
That would be a considerably shorter drive than going all the way back home to Columbus.
I wish that would catch on in our region. Well, anonymous Facebook user, where is your region? Maybe you can get that started. Let's do this real quick. Sponsor, you just mentioned RecTech. I saw them at the American Royal. I will be there next week. Case, you believe that? They asked me back. I get to go instruct at RecTech Academy, and I will be there.
You'll steal one of those new bullseyes and bring it back.
I will be there next week, and I definitely will be eyeballing that new bullseye, that 380X Deluxe. That looks amazing. Cosmos Q products, keeping me in the winner's circle all season, all year long, and last year. Love Cosmos Q. However, I did not have the cherry apple habanero. They are currently out of stock right now, which y'all heard me talk about that great glaze. So I had to hit up my boy Case. Case, talk about Texas pepper jelly. I used it last week. I got a rib call.
There you go. And someone managed to get an entire case for you.
Thank you very much.
That Case guy's a nice guy. Man, if you haven't tried the blended honey, man, it's just a fantastic rub for pork and chicken. Try it out. They're in stock. There's no shortage of Craig's sauce,
Hey,
rib
hey.
candy, things like that. TexasPepperJelly.com, quick shipping. They'll get it shipped out of you. Coming out of Lubbock, and they'll get it to you quickly. And if they don't have it at TexasPepperJelly.com, hit up the barbecue store in Hempstead. I bet you they got it.
The barbecue store in Hempstead is where you go to win, or where winners go. Bell would know that. If you're Bucky's has it, is what Daniel is saying. But the barbecue store in Hempstead, they can do not only do they have all the products that you would need, including Texas Original Charcoal and LC and Texas Oil Dust, but they also can get you looking good with some swag. They did hook up Bullhorn. We have some new Bullhorn shirts that we displayed that we brought out at the Royal, which I love. They're very nice. So yes, shout out to Julie and Dustin Stanley at the barbecue store in Hempstead. It's where you go. It's where you go to win. Thank you, Bell. Texas Oil Dust, Aaron Leslie. Products of doing well, getting people in the winner's circle all over Texas and beyond. I know that one of the guys that went up to the Jack was using it. I think he did okay up there. I'm sure he did okay out there. That's Texas Oil Dust. Lots of brines. They have injections. They have a great rib sauce called Brandon Oil. I mean, not rib, brisket sauce that has been doing well as well. Eureka Heights Brew Company. I'm not drinking any beer tonight, but if I were, it would be the awesome 2-carb, 100-calorie, something light, bro. That is great. Slamming, says Aaron Leslie. Texas Oil Dust, Aaron Leslie. Yes, something light. If you haven't had it, go get you some. It's in the HEB. Or if you see me at a contest, I will have that in my trailer. It is great.
It's called water.
No, it's great. It's got a great flavor for sure. Summer Moreno, she competed at the Jack as Kicking Ashes. She also is our insurance agent, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Yes, she's doing all of ours. If not now, in the near future. Diane has contacted her, and y'all should too. Summer Moreno with the Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. She can get all your toys lined up, your toy haulers, your pits, your trailers, and your life. Make sure you get in contact with Summer Moreno. Texas Original Charcoal. Have you had the pleasure of using that yet, Case? They don't have pellets yet.
I have not, but I did verify the high school kids do have to cook with charcoal in the Dutch oven, so I'm going to have to embrace it if we're going to talk about it. So
there you go. You got to. It's great. It's a great product. Aaron, I will play the clip. That is one of my favorite ones. I will play the clip. I am going to need a bigger trailer. Yes, I am, and I will be contacting Summer when I do. All right, let me get this up. Oh, Bill Purvis. She does the Purvises insurance, so make sure you give her a call. She's great. Old-fashioned lump.
But the size of Bill's trailer, that's got to be a big policy.
Yeah, Bill has a long trailer. Yes, he does. How about the LC barbecue products? All of it. He's got brines, he's got injections, he's got the rubs, he's got the main ones, the rawhide, the last call, and the certified, which together make up cocky. Just saying, guys. It's great products for sure. Phil did well. He did well at the Royal, and he went to compete at the Royal Oak Invitational, which a lot of those teams are back. Bill, how did you do, buddy? How did you do out there? I will play the clip. Guys, give me a moment. And of course, our day one, B1 day one, bull printing, wraps, and graphics. Love Mary and Cheeto Mesquite. It's where we started. It's where we still go. I'm going to get some more So Smoking Gooder Show decals here real soon. He don't know it yet. I need to call him. And but that's where I go when I get my decals. Case, and they've wrapped your trailer. What do you want to say a few words there?
Yeah, absolutely. Just fantastic. We've got some new delivery trucks at work that we're going to get them done. My office is now right across the street from those guys. And so if you're ever visiting bull printing, guys, hit me up. There's a good chance. Rob and I actually getting ready to work about 10 miles from each other. So while you're getting your work done, hit us up. We'll go grab some lunch. We'll make Rob pay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fine. The Danny Needs Memorial Classic. Never kind to me, but I love it. I keep going back for more, Case. Keep going back for more. And I will be back next year. Next year I will be back. Shout out to the Danny Deeds Memorial Classic. They do a great job as well. So even though I don't get a call there, a lot of people do. Not named Rob or Rocha or Bullhorn Barbecue. However, you go out there and do it because you'll see me out there with my something lights. And lastly, Clark Compression and Components, a family-owned company since 2001. It's where you go for parts and service for all your gas compression needs. They offer field service maintenance, overhauls, in-house repairs, and parts for use in natural gas engines and natural gas compressors. That is Clark Compression and Components. I think we hit them all, Case. I think we hit them all. Let's get to some clips here, buddy. All right, and then we have the Bullpenning Wraps and Graphics wrap-up recap. We have the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads upcoming events segment, and then whatever any of you guys wants comments, we can comment on those as well. Play that clip. Which clip? Tell me, Belle. Which clip? Oh, her clip. I haven't got it teed up yet, but I will. All right, let's go. Bill Purvis is in the comments. Bill did one recently. I don't think you've seen it yet because you haven't been here in a couple weeks. So let's see Bill's.
This is Bill Purvis with Chicken Fried Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show. Boom.
See, Robert Smith, was it that hard? Ira Green, was it that difficult, Ira?
I love those. Speaking of one on a first take right here.
Well, hello there. How you doing? I'm Aaron Leslie with Texas Oil Dust, and today you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show.
Actually, I don't know if that's the first take because he did that and sent that in. All right, real quick, let's do the upcoming event. No, let's do the Wraps and Graphics wrap-up recap real quick. Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics wrap-up recap over in the Champions Barbecue Alliance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events last weekend. Big weekend for the CBA. The grand champion in Weatherford at the Burnout Cancer event was Mr. Paul Whitaker, currently the points leader in the CBA with Scooters Barbecue. We don't have a video for him. RGC Charles Tant from Barry DeBone. Congratulations, guys. The Masters Road Fall Free-for-All in Manville, Texas. That's near your place, Case. Grand champion was Mo Harden. That was his first ever grand champion. Congratulations, Mo. With Coach and Barbecue, RGC Eric Rojas from Come and Taste It. And the 2022 Battlin' Barbecue Cook-Off in, that was in Ingleside, Texas, off the coast near Corpus Christi. Grand champion was the president of CBA, Fred Robles, Rio Valley Meat.
That's probably his first grand champion, too.
Say it again, what?
That's probably his first GC also, right?
Not quite his first GC, but congratulations, Fred. RGC was Grady Speed from Grade A Barbecue. The 9th annual Friends for Wishes over in Brenham, Texas. That is a great event. Make sure you guys get your butts over to Brenham. They just came from Waller County. They're now in Brenham. Grand champion Robert Smith from First Class Barbecue. You know what happens when you get a GC, and I have your clip. I get clip. It's a what?
So Smoking Gooder Show.
It is a So Smoking Gooder Show. All right. Are you ready? Yep. You can handle this? Here we go. 3.
I'm First Class Barbecue, Robert Smith, and you're watching the So Smoker Gooder Show.
You said it wrong, dummy. Do it again.
So Smoking Gooder Show.
One more time.
So Smoking Gooder Show.
I do love that. That's great. The RGC Robert Rocha Bullhorn.
Play your video.
I don't have a video. I'm doing the video. My name is Robert Rocha, host of Smoking Gooder Show, and you're watching the So Smoking Gooder Show. Bell reminded me, yes, I did make a bet with Bell, and I won some Hey Dudes. I got some Hey Dudes coming. I got to pick them out first off. Yes, and Cooking for Kids, and that was in Mercedes, Texas, I believe. No, it's not. It wasn't in Mercedes. Where was that? Can't remember. But the grand champion was AJ Garza from God's Country Barbecue, and the RGC was Derek Bernal from Heavy's Barbecue. They're good friends, and they got to share the stage for the first time. I'm sure that's really cool because I've done it with Bill and now Robert Smith and Phil. Don't fong me, Bill. Do not fong me. Yes, Bell was trying to. I'll go over what that means later. Over in the IBCA, MK Charity Cook-Off Grand Champion Chuck Long from Texas Rebel Smokehouse, the RGC Merrick Hager Smoking Raiders, the 3rd annual Valeria Jasso Memorial Cook-Off Grand Champion Jason Sagmiller Race Crew Drum. Woo!
I even wore orange tonight.
You're wearing orange right now. I know. RGC Jamie Roby Texas Smoke. I'd love a video from both of those guys. That'd be kind of cool. The Cool Breeze Barbecue Cook-Off. That sounds fun. Grand Champion was Blake Schendel from Alley Cats, the RGC Jason Reyes. Pura Vida Barbecue. Say it, Case. You can't.
What?
All right. Flower Mound Smoke Fest. Grand Champion Stephen Granite from No Quarter Q. RGC was David House from House Party Barbecue. Heavy is on fire. They are. They cracked the top 10 and are climbing up. We'll go over that too as well. Galveston County Fall Festival, the Grand Champion, Brian Fox. Where's Brian? Is he still here? Is Brian Fox still here? Just smoking around. Congratulations, Brian. The RGC was Mike Garcia from Road Kill Cookers and over in the Outlaw Barbecue Association. In Meridian, this is the old Meridian National Championship Barbecue Cook-Off. It was won by a family, a husband and a wife. The Grand Champion, Tony Olenek from Smoking Hot, and the RGC, Brad Olenek from Burning Money. Congratulations. And lastly, last weekend in Texas, barbecue and the Lone Star Barbecue Society, the Ray Estes Barbecue Cook-Off. Grand Champion, David Leffler, RGC, Preston Whitney. Fox pulled the hat trick. Did he really? He pulled a hat trick. That's nice. That means he won all 3 categories, Case.
Oh, I know what it means. I was just giving you the reaction that Foxwood does all his photos.
I'm still here. Congratulations, Brian. Hat
Look,
trick.
he can't even smile in the picture with his girlfriend. Brian Fox, you're grand champion.
That's pretty impressive. I won't
Brian
even
Fox,
go.
won the lotto.
I won't even go and see how many teams were there, but it's still impressive. Regardless if there's only 3 teams, you hat trick, Case. It's impressive. Just saying. Congratulations. Back-to-back GCs for him, too. He's got his own promotional team, and it's him.
Yeah, too bad he can't smile ever.
All right. Upcoming events segment sponsored by the great folks in Uvalde, Texas at the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads. Again, that's coming up December 9th and 10th. You heard from Chris Schafer at Heavy's Barbecue. He will be there. Upcoming event segments in the Champions Barbecue Alliance this weekend is where I will be at the U.S. Army Central Texas Cook-Off in Fort Hood, Texas. I feel that they're still going to let me in, Case, because they let us in for the Super Bowl with a lot more stringent restrictions, and we still got in.
General fear.
Yeah, it was a fear. They're going to let us in. The U.S. Army, maybe they'll let us in. But it's going to be in Fort Hood. I'll be there. It's Killeen, Texas. It's in Killeen, Texas. In Laredo is the Pit Kings Laredo 2022 barbecue contest. The RGVLS Terror on the Texas Barbecue Cook-Off. Mercedes, Texas. There's where I got Mercedes from. And in Poteet, Texas, the Strawberry City Smoke Fest. I hear they have great strawberries in Poteet.
They better.
Brian says, I don't have Caleb anymore, so I can actually win. What happened with Caleb? What do you mean you don't have Caleb?
Did they get a divorce?
Are y'all no longer?
Are you guys breaking up?
Are y'all no longer a couple? What's going on there? Did he get a green drum? Did he piss you off, Brian? Yes. I would like to know. Over in the IBCA, the Branding Iron 2nd Annual Cook-Off in Floresville, Texas. Diamonds and Dollars 2022. That's going to be at the barbecue store in Hempstead, Texas. In Flatonia, Chili Spill. You say that right? Chili Spill?
You already screwed up Flatonia.
Flatonia. They make oil dry there. I know this. Barbecue cook-off in Flatonia, Texas. That's going to be coming up this weekend in the IBCA 50th anniversary. Daniel, you going to be there? Are you cooking that one, Daniel? 50th anniversary. Over in the Lone Star, we got Oktoberfest 2022 cook-off in Rising Star City Park, Texas. And in the Outlaw, there's one there. Hillsboro Autumn Fest in Hillsboro, Texas. Lots of cook-offs this weekend.
There was a lot of cook-offs last weekend. Jesus.
There were a lot last weekend as well. Shout out to the Uvalde Ranch. The Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads in Uvalde, Texas, again, December 9th and 10th. That is a CBA event, a 3-meat CBA event, guys. It's only chicken, pork, ribs, and brisket. 3 meats matter, Case. That's what you've always said.
3 meats matter. Unless you're using blended honey from Texas pepper jelly on that pork.
I am pretty sure I did see that it is a 3-meat contest. If I am wrong, somebody correct me, but I do believe that is what's going on. All right, let's talk about this real quick. I kind of mentioned it last week, and I don't know that I touched on it, but I'm going to touch on it right now. That's what she said. It's going to be the Champions Barbecue Alliance, the Points Chase. It is coming to a rapid close. We end this. The last contest on the books is coming up. I think we only have 3 more weekends of contest. Let's see some events here. Last weekend on the books is November. Oh, there's one that just got added, November 25th in Buffalo, Texas. So that one might be heavily attended if guys are trying to improve their standings. But let's go over the top 20 currently in the CBA Points Chase. It is tight at the top. I will say that. It's tight all over. All right. 20th place, Chicken Fried Barbecue. He is, are you still here, Bill? Chicken Fried Barbecue. 19th place, Los Buzzards. All of these have 10 events under their belt. So at this point, they're just trying to improve their 8th or 9th or 10th spot here. 18th place, Uppercut Smokers. 17th, Cast Iron Cookers. 16th, On Point Barbecue. 15th, coming in hot, Daniel Ramirez, this guy right here. Reggie Q, Vincent, and his lovely wife in 14th place. Texas Oil Dust. Where's my boy Aaron Leslie? There he is. Texas Oil Dust sitting in 13th place. Lonely Bone sitting in 12th. 11th place, Michelle Castillo with Amp Cookers. Cracking the top 10 this week was God's Country Barbecue. That is AJ Garza. Jeremy McMinn with Love Barbecue sitting in 9th. Derek Bernal with Heavies sitting in 8th. Texas Sweet Heat just killing it down in the valley, sitting in 7th. Victor Garcia with Uncle Vic's Barbecue. That was Reyes, by the way. Reyes in 7th. Uncle Vic's is sitting in 6th. Natural Born Grillers, Eloy is doing very well. Top 5 with 45.72. In 4th place, Robert Smith, last year's number 1 team, is sitting in 4th with 46.63. 3rd place, Bullhorn Barbecue, sitting in 3rd with 48.88. In 2nd place, 2 points above me, is Phil Breeden from LC's Barbecue at 48.90. And sitting in the catbird seat right now is Paul Whitaker with Scooters Barbecue with 5,057 points. So it is very tight. One top 3 can shuffle this top 10 for everybody. So continue. If you're chasing points, you only got about 3 more weeks. If you're chasing points in the CBA, you only got about 3 to maybe 4 weeks of contest left to do it. So good luck to everybody. I am very curious to see how this all shakes out. I'm going after Paul. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Paul just GC'd last week, as I just said. I RGC'd, so he gained points on me. That's how it works. So what do you think about that, Case?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Did we forget anything? I know we got the World Series starting Friday. Game 1 of the World Series, Astros. We did some predictions. I said Astros in 6. You said Astros in 5. We'll see how that goes. We'll readdress that next week because the series, it could not be over, but it should be over, right?
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. I will be coming to you live next week from Georgia. I'm going to be at the Rec Tech headquarters in Evans, Georgia. I'm looking forward to that. I will be out there with my boys, Jody Flanagan, Chef John, Chef Greg. Joey Smith is coming down from Texas Chrome Heroes. He'll be out there as well. And what else we got here? I think that's about it. So I will not be cooking. I'm cooking this week, but next week I'm taking off. I cannot be there. So whoever's cooking, chasing points, good luck. Good luck. All right, am I forgetting anything before we get out of here, buddy?
That was good. Good to be back with you guys. Congratulations again to Chris. Congratulations, Rob. Another big weekend. All the guys who got your name called, and you too, Brian Fox. And so, yeah, and another big weekend of cooking. So let's see who's going to get those calls, who's going to get those walks, who's going to walk last this weekend. Lots of cooks this weekend.
Jared, I will have a TV in Killeen, just as I had one last week in Brenham. So if you guys are cooking Killeen, I want everybody to come to Club Bullhorn and support our Astros. So, yes, I will be out there showing the Astros game with Danny Regan. We're going to be cooking together. Together we form Booyah Barbecue. No, but we'll be out there. Ribs and Rods is coming up. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to be missing, Corby. I'll be missing that one. See y'all at the I Do Barbecue. Don't forget Laredo. I did not. Laredo is this weekend. Y'all get up there. All right. Kason, you want anything else before we get out of here?
I don't have anything else except for this. Good night, Barbecue Nation. You too, California. And suck it, New York.
Suck it, New York. I forgot to play
Hey there,
this.
everybody. This is Aaron, the Retro Guy, host of the Morning Roast Radio Show, and you're locked in to the So Smoking Gooder Show. Give it to them, fellas.
All right, we gave it to y'all. We're out. See you guys. See you guys next week from Evans, Georgia. All right, later.